further debate? I recognize the member from Guelph.
Thank you, Speaker. It's a real honor to rise today and speak in favor of the member from Ottawa Centre's motion. The Ontario Green Party has long advocated for restoring 50% funding from the province for operations of local transit station operations. This was something that was part of Premier Bill Davis's, remind you, a progressive conservative premier's vision for the province. And I think the Premier realized at the time that the only way that we're going to build affordable communities, livable cities without gridlock, would be to have transit operations that were reliable, affordable, and accessible for people. But unfortunately, right now in the province of Ontario, when you have transit operations experiencing over $500 million operational deficit, it is incredibly difficult for transit operations to provide the services their residents so desperately need. I would add to Mr. Davis's vision that if we're going to have any hope of meeting our obligations to reduce climate pollution, transit is going to play a vital role. And I know many folks in this House, possibly and watching on the live stream, oftentimes think of transit as a big city issue, Toronto, Ottawa, maybe Hamilton. But it's a mid-sized big city issue too in places like Guelph, Kitchener. It's a smaller city issue in places like Owen Sound, Orangeville. As a matter of fact, I was just at an event the other night with the former mayor of Orangeville, Sandy Brown. And Sandy told me that when he was mayor, probably the best decision he ever made was to bring in free transit because the ridership went through the roof. Matter of fact, their ridership went up so much that they almost had a complete cost recovery because of the additional gas tax revenue they received. But why was it so important? Because students could get to school easier. Seniors could get to doctor's appointments easier. When we look at how transit can make a difference in people's lives, the member from Kitchener Centre was telling me about the Pathways to Education project, a nonprofit that provides free transit for disadvantaged students around the country. The Camino nonprofit provides $100,000 in the Kitchener-Waterloo region to provide free transit for students because it's so critical to their ability to access mental health services, to access school, to access after-school study programs that are vital to educational improvement. So what's one of the barriers to being able to offer programs like this where transit becomes more affordable is that the municipal transit box simply cannot provide the operational revenue that it takes to run a reliable, affordable transit system. And that's why governments around the world provide operational funding for transit systems. And Ontario is one of the few jurisdictions that doesn't do that. And it has real negative implications for the affordability of our communities. And I do want to echo the member from Ottawa Centre's concerns about the potential death spiral that our transit systems in big cities, mid-sized cities, and towns all across Ontario are facing right now. Because when you have a situation where they have to raise transit fares so much that it creates a disincentive for people to be able to afford transit, that means ridership goes down and transit services get cut back. And I'll give you an example in my own community in Guelph. All politicians in Guelph were challenged to take transit for a week. I went to the bus. It's a short walk from my house. I wanted to take the bus to the Stone Row Mall, which would normally take me about 10 minutes to drive or 19 minutes to cycle there, provided we continue to have our bike lanes to get me there. When I missed the bus, what would have been a 30-minute bus trip ended up being an hour and a half. I thought I could have walked there faster than that. And I'm only saying that because the implications of not providing operational funding for transit systems leads to experiences like that, which reduces ridership and reduces the affordability and livability of our communities.